Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. Beautiful artwork, thematic game and dice. Any one of those will generally pique my interest, and Die of the Dead from Radical 8 Games seems to have all three. In this game, for 2 to 5 players, you are completing to place your dice representing souls on the Marigold Steps to be the first player to ascend to the land of the living. Let's take a look at the components, but before we do, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. To go over the content, I've set up for a 3-player game. Each player gets their own board and a handful of matching coloured dice. The player boards are double-sided depending on whether you want to play with asymmetric abilities. This is the City of the Dead that holds your power dice until claimed, and these dice have 2 faces replaced by skull symbols. There are 4 action boards that are associated with the caskets above. Each of the boards has 2 actions that you can carry out during the game, and caskets will later contain dice that you can shake about and move positions. There are also 4 different types of tokens that players can make use of, and the abilities they provide is outlined on these double-sided boards with different actions on each side. Lastly, this construct is the Marigold Steps, consisting of 9 levels. The first 8 levels has spots for up to 5 dice with symbols that provide bonus abilities when the players ascend their souls to this area. The uppermost step is the Land of the Living, and the first player to reach this spot wins the game. The first thing you'll notice with the components is either the amazing construct of the steps and the casket, the beautiful artwork, or the vivid colours. Regardless of which, the components are fantastic. The caskets have these amazing skull designs on them, and as well as the Marigold Steps, they are of good stock and pretty solid, where the game has great table presence with exceptionally detailed art. I can't remember the last time a game looked this good on the table. The game setup is very quick, and you have a number of options on how you want to proceed. Firstly, the player boards are double-sided. Those new to the game may want to play the standard version, but there is an option for an advanced variant of the game where you flip the boards over so that each player has a unique special ability for asymmetric play, and I recommend this way of playing. Also, the 4 types of game tokens have double-sided boards with different token effects on each side. Therefore, you have a huge variant of the combination of token abilities to take into each game. The rules are pretty simple to learn, and you should have a good understanding of how the game plays after just one read, especially since the action and token boards all have descriptions of the effects on them. So, the game has no rounds. Instead, each player chooses a casket and carries out the action associated with this action board that has a main and secondary ability. Each player has a pool of dice in their play area called free souls that can make their way to their player board as prepared souls, or into the caskets and ultimately onto the Marigold Steps. On your turn, you select a casket and carry out both actions on the board in front. Actions allow you to move souls from your play area to your player board that are now termed prepared souls, as well as move these souls into caskets. Some actions require you to shake caskets and reveal the souls within, possibly resulting in the casket shifting position and therefore being associated with a different action board on the next turn. Instead of shifting caskets after shaking, you can instead compare the values of all dice inside to determine which player has the most souls showing the highest value. This usually results in the winning player being awarded a bonus, such as gaining prepared souls from their play area or a power soul taken from the City of the Dead board. These dice have a skull icon as a value instead of a 3 or a 4. When comparing souls in a casket, the skull icon on the power dice can be used as any value and therefore are pretty valuable. In order to win the game, you'll need to ascend souls from your player board to the Marigold Steps by carrying out action 4. To do this, you place your dice on the steps, ascending 1 level each time. Each step provides a bonus depending on where players place their souls, where you can gain power souls, prepare souls onto your player board, and even gain bonus tokens to be used later. To win the game, you need to have your souls ascend the Marigold Steps and be the first player to place a dice on the top step representing the Land of the Living. The game is very elegant and has a good mix of strategy and luck with some nice mechanics. Shaking caskets and comparing dice will award those who have tactically placed dice in the right casket at the right time. That may also depend on how quickly you can claim your power dice. Some actions allow you to select one of many options, so you'll need to choose wisely whether you decide to compare souls or shift a casket. Also, on your turn, an unlucky shake of a casket can result in you ascending another player's souls to the Marigold Steps, which is frustrating, especially since you can't look inside the caskets, except for the casket in position 1, which is always open. And this is where tokens come into play. These are gained through various effects such as bonuses from the Marigold Steps or being awarded them from comparing souls during an action. There are 4 different tokens that each have 2 effects, but you'll need to decide on which ability will be active for the game setup for each token, and therefore you have a multitude of combinations. The candle is associated with moving caskets, the marigold for peeking into caskets and removing opponents' dice, and the incense for potentially altering dice values when a casket is opened. The last one, bread, allows you to add dice to caskets. These allow you to gain some small advantage during play, and the fact you can opt to gain these from ascending souls to the Marigold Steps makes them a vital part of the game. Each player colour can be used so you can play the game with asymmetric abilities, which is my preferred way to play. These also include starting bonuses such as gaining tokens, prepared souls and power souls at setup. The abilities allow you to swap tokens, peek inside caskets or claim additional prepared souls, and I don't think any are really overpowered. The game is a fantastic display of wonderful components and artwork, together with novel mechanics and great gameplay. It plays out in less than 60 minutes, even at the higher player count, and also has a 2-player variant, adding a non-player colour to the game. Comparing dice will depend on your previous actions, where shifting casket positions can become a blessing or a curse. Although a light game, it has become a family favourite due to its non-existent downtime, simple rules and great theme. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.